Good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's 1 million by 1 million strategy roundtable for entrepreneurs. 1Mby1M, as you know, is the first and only global virtual accelerator for technology startups. Our mission is to help 1 million entrepreneurs reach $1 million and beyond in annual revenue. And that means we not only support the venture style companies, we also support bootstrap companies. So you don't have to raise venture capital to build a successful company. And we are fully behind that thought process. This is the 683rd 1Mby1M free mentoring roundtable. We started back in 2008 and it was a little experiment and the experiment was successful. And here we are. Probably over 300,000 people have participated in these sessions by now. And we have had the privilege of learning from all of you all over the world and all the investors who participate in these sessions. So today, we're going to start the conversation with Nicholas Fok, venture partner at Erez Capital. Nicholas, please unmute your line and tell us what you're doing.
Hi, thanks for having me. It's great to be here.
So we don't know about Erez Capital. Here, let's start by your introducing us to Erez Capital.
Yeah, sure. So who are we? We are an early stage venture capital. We do seed to Series D. We do SPVs as well. So our sweet spot is 1 million to 20 million valuation, demonstrated revenue growth, product market fit, and a founding team, a quality founding team. So what that means is really it implies that they are past, well, they have an MVP that's working, right? So our check size goes up to 2 million. And what our focus is on is how companies leverage AI to disrupt, traditional tech industries like, med, property or real estate, finance, FinTech.
How big is the fund?
We are targeted as 50 million, and we're a little less than half committed right now.
And have you started investing already?
Yes, we have 6 investments. I think I'll cover some in a little bit. But yes, we have invested already, and we have a large focus on FinTech, defense tech, energy tech, real estate, and what our philosophy is very similar to yours actually. It's really we are founder friendly. We are partners with the growth, with the founders' growth. So we have a large venture partner network, and we're using our huge network to create a network effect. A lot of times founders they have a lot of gaps, or they're looking for advice or things that they're missing. So whether it could be go-to-market negotiation, industry expertise, or introductions, chances are they can find it in our network. So what our whole philosophy and approach is being founder friendly and being the growth partner. And so our firm really we look for several focuses. Med, real estate, FinTech, and how AI can be used to leverage and disrupt these industries.
Nicholas, let me ask you some questions, and let's be precise in answering those. What is the geographical footprint of where you like to invest?
So we like to invest in US and MENA. These are the 2 areas right now. Yes.
Middle East and Northern Africa.
We haven't done anything yet, but yes, we are open to that.
Why is that?
I think because my partner he worked for is really Ministry of Foreign Affairs before, so he has an interest in that area.
Okay, so let's talk about your AI investment thesis. How are you looking at AI? What do you want to invest in? What do you not want to invest in? And what are you investing in? We'll do some case studies as well.
Sure. Okay, so for AI, so what we're looking for are identifying high, startups that leverage AI to significantly disrupt. So what I mean by that, so we're not just looking for an AI wrapper. We're not looking for a wrapper that just wraps chat or Gemini or whatever into something that, because that's not really
advantage. You cannot build a company on that.
Exactly. You can't build a company on that. I mean, but there's a lot of startups doing that right now, but because it's hot. But it's not defensible, and it's just not a good way to create a business.
I think just for those of you who are listening, it's actually not a bad business to do a wrapper. You can build a business by doing AI wrappers that are specific to a vertical or specific to a use case, and you would find customers. It's better as a bootstrap business. VCs are not going to invest in wrappers because the VC funded company has to go from $0 to $100 million in 5 to 7 years. So you need defensible competitive advantage, you need an exit strategy and so forth, none of which are going to be viable with just a wrapper business. But if you're doing a bootstrap business, a wrapper business can actually work.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. If you're bootstrapping and you're trying to keep it lean, yeah, it's totally viable. And with the tools right now, yeah, you can definitely do it. Because I was a former founder and I bootstrapped it, and it's totally viable. And you get 100% of your capital, right? I mean, it's 100% yours. But yeah, but for a VC standpoint, it's not defensible. You have a lot of it's not repeatable. Well, it is repeatable, but it's the advantage.
It's not defensible because
Yes,
the minutes of something successful comes about that is easy, there's going to be a million copycats. So
yeah,
that's not a good VC business. That's
correct.
so easy to replicate, so easy to copy.
Exactly. So we're looking for something that's defensible, that actually has great technology, but also solves a pain point. I mean, I think a lot of the times the pain point and the product market fit is we get all caught up in the technology, right? It's what's the pain point? What's it solving? And crucially, the second point is are people willing to pay for that? I mean, it'll be great if you solve a pain point, but if nobody pays for that, then that's not a viable business. So it's you need to be able to create something that has a defensible position, that solves a pain point, that also is something that people will want to pay for. It's painful enough that people want to pay for it. And
let's do the examples of what you have invested in to, I think it's theoretically it's hard to grasp for people listening. Let's do use cases.
Yeah, sure. So I think one use case would be Curio. So while this is not exactly AI, but it's energy tech. So what that Curio is, a company that deals with nuclear waste. So it's kind of AI adjacent, if you will, because it's energy. So it deals with nuclear. It invented a technology that is able to recycle nuclear fuel with 97% efficiency, and also reduces waste by 96%. So if you think about kind of the TAM on this, it's a $53 billion market. It's and that this technology has been proven, and so this is real technology, right? It's not like wrap or anything, but I mean, I can get into more details on other.
So, Nicholas, this 1 million by 1 million focuses only on tech startups. So if you could keep your examples just to the information technology field, specifically AI, that would be helpful right now.
Sure. Okay. So for Unplex, we have one that deals with AI powered payments, and
that's more AI fintech. That's a great.
Yes, AI fintech. So the key here is that they deal specifically for mobile payments, and an estimated half of all payments are mobile. If you know, it's a huge market, right? We all know that. And what this is,
what is the AI angle?
the AI angle is the customer experience and how it's interfaced with WhatsApp. So it's focused on the Indian market for expats. So for India, about majority of the WhatsApp users are from India. If you look at the WhatsApp users, it's about 900 million users in India alone. Brazil is the second largest with 150, and then US is about 100 million. But yeah, it's a huge adoption in WhatsApp, and it enables payments on WhatsApp, which reduces a lot of the friction. But also the AI angle is the customer customer interaction and the customer service angle. So it reduces a lot of the friction with the payments.
I don't understand what is the AI angle. I understand the WhatsApp angle. I understand why WhatsApp payment is interesting. I don't understand the AI angle.
So the customers can go in. It's the customer service, right? It's the interaction with the AI that enables where's my payments, or it reduces a lot of the friction with the
So for those of you who are listening, I want to point out something, and I have companies in the 1M portfolio right now where I'm experiencing this as well in our premium program. Sometimes your primary value proposition, even though you have some AI here and there, your primary value proposition may not be an AI value proposition, right? So in this case, I think the use case that we're working on with Nick right now, this is not, the primary value proposition is not AI. The primary value proposition is WhatsApp payment. And Nick is absolutely right in that there is an incredible number of WhatsApp users around the world, especially overseas. And in fact, I was just thinking that these 100 million US users, probably a large percentage of that is Indians who are communicating with people at home, right? So I know that even in Europe, we have our European family and friends also use WhatsApp very extensively. So overseas, WhatsApp adoption has been fantastic. So, cross-border payments on WhatsApp is a very valuable use case, very valuable, opportunity to, create a company. So that is the real value proposition. AI may be doing some things here and there. Maybe the software development is happening with a lot of AI co-pilots. That doesn't make you an AI company. So, in 1M, we work on positioning a lot. How you position your company is really key, and how, especially if you're going out to raise money, it's going to be really key to explain what kind of a company are you building and what is the business. So if your primary value proposition is not AI, do not pitch it as an AI company. That's my guidance. And I'm seeing this a lot right now because everybody's trying to ride on the AI bandwagon. It doesn't, if you position yourself as an AI company and then the investors receiving that pitch don't see AI in it, they don't like that. So that's just something for the audience to take away. Nick, let's do another use case, another company that you've invested in.
Yeah, sure. So I think this other one, well, it's a fintech, but the AI angle is not really that much of an AI angle. It's more to do with it's earned wage access. So I'm
Also,
not.
fintech. Is your firm specialization to a large extent on fintech? You have very good fintech case studies.
Yeah, we do have a specialization for fintech. Also, the energy, real estate, med. But yeah, fintech has been. I mean, that's my background has been in finance as well. I've been in various roles for quant finance, managing portfolios. So yeah, it's
So
fintech is
start with
definitely.
the one that you're talking about, earned wages. This competes with Earnin and those kinds of companies. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, it does. It does. The angle is that they look for more of a community base or credit union angle. Because if you look at the credit unions and the community, they don't have the IT support. They don't have like the big, resources, right? So looking for a build solution, if you
Ah,
will.
so this is a
Not
white
a build solution.
solution for the credit unions to offer this service to their members.
Yeah, this is our angle, right? It's to see it's the buy versus build solution, right? It's the
Yeah, that's
because a
very
lot of
interesting. Yeah.
exactly. So the this it's called clock out. They offer earned wage access to these institutions where they might not have the budget. Well, they don't have the budget to create these solutions. And if you have went to a credit union or a community bank before, they're they're it's 2025, right? But then there's still the technology for kind of the user interface.
Mhm.
It's horribly out of date, right? It's a lot of the times, the portal is just it's not really nice. So and it's not integrated. You don't have a lot of payments. It's not you can't set up automated payments. So maybe sometimes you can, but sometimes the credit cards are not like connected with your bank, your account, and your credit union. So things like that. This enables earned wage access for the customers for these local, regional, and also credit unions. Um, and yeah, these are also the types of customers that may need this and also reduces the dependency on payday loans or things that are much more expensive, right?
Much more expensive and
Yeah,
kind of shark-like, right?
yeah. Yeah, and while there's not like a huge AI angle here, we like the
Yeah, but
the
it's a great fintech story.
yeah, yeah,
Well, the way I look at it is not everything has to be AI, right? AI is kind of built into how companies are being built right now, right? Software is being developed with AI co-pilots, and that's kind of becoming a given. There's a lot of AI utilization in marketing and sales in all kinds of functions, in customer support for sure. But there are, I mean, the core value propositions of fintech still are really interesting core value propositions, whether the ones that you've just discussed, whether it's payments, cross-border payments on WhatsApp, or payday,
yeah,
access to earned wage. These are excellent fintech value propositions. So you know AI first is not the only way to pitch a company, because that may not be the core value proposition that you are bringing to the table. All these other categories, whether it's prop tech or fintech or health tech, these are all, they all exist. They all are open still, and there are lots of unsolved problems in all of those areas.
yeah. I mean, right, I totally agree. I think that's the AI native or AI. It's really what is the pain point, right? It's to get at the real kind of why the company should be AI native in the first place is, what does AI do better at that pain point or whatever pain point you're trying to solve than other solutions? I mean, that's the really key, right? And a lot of times, there might be solutions already that are pretty good. So what is that next level that AI can really enhance that other solutions can't? And I think that's the one of the things that it's a challenge too.
So let's look at Nick. Let's look at some of the companies that are here and see what they are doing and what can we learn from them.
Yeah, sounds good.
So, folks, those of you who are pitching today or at a later date, just know that this is a safe working session. We're going to all put our heads together and work on your business and see what value we can add. And there is no other agenda. This is not Shark Tank. We're not trying to run an entertainment, show. This is a real serious working session. And if you disagree with what you hear here, that's fine. It's your venture. It's your prerogative to, do whatever the hell you want to do. But, remember, there is the feedback you'll be getting comes from experienced people. So, it's maybe helpful to listen. So, Pranav, you're going to go first. Go ahead.
Thank you so much, Ramana. And let me introduce everyone present here today to QuGain Quantum Technologies Private Limited. So let me give you a brief about what exactly we do. Quantum technologies have the potential to revolutionize industries with faster compute, better resource management, and better solutions overall. This project specifically endeavors to enhance the accessibility of current quantum technology that is present in the world to both established entrepreneurs and emerging ventures as well. Thank you. So let me introduce you to my team. This is Shreyas, and he is our AI expert. So he has been with me in my college journey. He has done his thesis at Harvard and Yale, and is very excited to work with us to build a quantum assisted AI tools for companies that are looking to add the extra edge of the current technology that is present. Please, next slide. Thank you. So this is me. Hello, everyone. I'm Pranav. And I have been a part of the quantum journey for the past 3.5 years. I have traveled quite a lot to different labs and different organizations to discuss with them what they would see as an ideal tool that they can use every day for their assistance in the research that they are conducting. And I've been to a lab in Germany, in Canada, and now currently in the US.
And these are academic labs?
Sorry?
These are academic labs?
They are both academic labs as well as industry business labs. So in Germany, in fact, I had the good chance to meet with um, this organization known as DESY, which works on a synchrotron. And over there, they are currently working with high energy lasers to have useful applications in various sectors, including in a niche sector as archaeology. So it's quite interesting, really. And okay, let me move on in the interest of time. Here is Harsha, and he currently works with us to help build the backend of QGain, and currently works on cutting edge algorithms sourced from different research groups around the world. Please, next slide. So let me introduce you to the problem statement that we are tackling real quickly. Emphasizing on the point on the slide, how can we make quantum technologies more accessible and integrable into new and established businesses, allowing them to leverage the power of quantum computing for innovation and in AI, agnostic of their industry specific solution? So, despite the promising advancements of quantum technologies, a significant gap exists between accessibility and practical application of this technology, particularly for startups and ecosystems that are far away from research. So they lack the specialization in quantum mechanics and machine learning to be able to join the two together. And currently, businesses face this challenge of integrating the cutting edge quantum technologies into their operations due to the complexities of the technology.
So,
Here, yeah.
Pranav, I guess the first question that comes to my mind is, what are you selling? This is a business pitch, right? You want to build a business out of it.
Definitely.
So what are you selling? Are you selling a computer?
No. We are selling a service, and the service is essentially that you do not need expertise in quantum mechanics. You do not need an expert team of quantum technology researchers. You just need us, where we take your classical data, we translate the classical data onto quantum assisted computing. We bring out the results, and then we post those results as user friendly output to back to the company.
Okay. So in that case, you're selling, I think the issue that you're going to face is that you're selling technical expertise.
Okay.
You're selling quantum technical expertise. To be able to sell that, you have to figure out what is the problem that you actually go try to solve. Because people are not really, if you look at the current state of the universe, people are not looking for quantum services.
Definitely. Yeah.
People are trying to solve a problem. So the way you have pitched this is that the problem is that you want to make quantum technologies more accessible. People are not trying to access quantum technology. People are trying to solve problems. So what problem do you think quantum technologies can solve better than other existing technologies?
Yeah. Thank you so much for that question. One thing that I realized in my presentation right now with your conversation is that the problem statement doesn't really cover what's in it for the companies or who is listening to my talk, right? And of course, I will come to that at a later stage of the presentation, but I realized that what I need to emphasize is there are current problems that are present in the technology when you use classical data, where if you want to talk about particular optimizing and combinatorial problems, for example, which involve linear, nonlinear, and multi-body dynamics of some particular structure and material of a system, then these problems can be better solved with more accurate solutions on quantum computers.
Yeah, but what are those? What are those solutions? What are those problems?
Yeah, so essentially they are thermodynamical problems. They are problems that are faced by, let's say, delivery service partners, where they have to efficiently have a combinatorial optimization problem on the algorithm for finding the nearest k-nearest path to reduce the cost of their service as well as increase the surface
What
area
is
of
the
this
ROI of introducing quantum into that problem? Is there enough of an ROI for an organization that has a lot of delivery services like an Amazon or a Swiggy or whatever? I mean, is there enough ROI for them to introduce quantum computing to solve that use case?
Yeah, so this is a nice question as well. And currently in the industry where companies have raced to add AI integrated into their product, what we are trying to propose is not a complete 180 turnaround where you ditch your classical and AI product and you have to head first into quantum technology. No, we are trying to integrate the current AI model with a quantum assisted AI where we essentially, if I want to talk in technical terms, we target the latent space of the AI, where we encode the data in qubits, and then we process the latent space on a quantum computer to have more access of the solution space that the data has.
So, Pranav, you have to look at this in two ways.
Yeah.
If you look at the history of Indian IT services early on, this is way before your time, the way that industry started was with body shopping.
Body shopping, okay.
So body shopping was basically people who had expertise were hired, like companies in India accumulated a bunch of people with a certain expertise and then basically staffed projects with those bodies. It became very badly, this term is terrible actually, but it became known as a body shopping business. So, but there is legitimacy to what it signifies. If you want to build a company of people who have quantum experience and you go look at who's looking for quantum computing expertise and you staff your people into those those situations, you can do body shopping of quantum expertise. That's one way to build a business, and then you don't need to answer the kinds of questions I'm asking you.
Interesting. Okay.
But if you want to build a much more higher order business where then you have to productize, you have to, you can still do services, because AI services, by the way, is becoming a very interesting area because there's a tremendous gap in AI services right now, AI expertise. So AI services on top of certain IP or certain core competency is becoming a very significant business. But I think if you want to build something that is more repeatable, we remember Nick and I used this word repeatable
Yes.
earlier. Repeatability is very much a function of being able to productize, even if you have services, productize those services and come up with problems that you can solve effectively with huge ROI using quantum, and you're then going to go after those problems. So you need to understand which verticals, what is your ideal customer profile, and so forth. And so I think these are two very different ways of building your company.
Yeah.
Right? So you have to decide which way you want to go, and you should really do homework on where are the use cases where quantum really can help. Let me give you a pointer. I don't know if there's enough ROI to for logistics companies to adopt quantum yet. Would Amazon do it? Would Swiggy do it? I don't know if they would do it. You have to calculate whether there is enough ROI for that.
So I actually did, and abstract of the numbers, let's talk about an industry that really requires quantum technology, and that is the drug discovery industry. Effectively, the drug discovery industry works on AI-assisted data, where they have these models which try to search for a solution in a huge number of data, and usually those solutions are very inaccurate. And what quantum technology essentially gives is, because these drug molecules are quantum in nature, the association is one-to-one. And when you model a molecule on a quantum computer and you process it using a quantum algorithmic approach like QAOA or VQE, which are a different set of algorithms, then you have essentially retrieved information of ground state energies of these molecules, which verify that these molecules are actually true, they exist, and they do what you want them to do. So these particular niche areas is, in fact, what I'm working on in my master's thesis, and also what I saw as a potential entry point into the field. Another very, sorry, yeah, please go ahead.
So let me comment on what you just said. This is very interesting.
Yeah.
AI-assisted drug discovery is a very, very exciting field right now. There's a lot going on. If you research what's going on there, it's enormous, and there's a lot of funding that's coming into that field. So now you're gonna have to model what AI can do and what quantum can do, and what AI can do is already orders of magnitude more than what the pre-AI generation could do. And now you're saying quantum can do more. So, how much more? What is the improvement over AI by introducing quantum? You have to, look into all of that. But this, now you're going in a direction where there is the possibility of building a business,
Definitely. Yeah.
right?
In
So
fact, I have spoken to some companies as well. And apart from drug discovery, right, Mercedes was really interested in what we are doing because their design and innovation of building the aerodynamics of a car and building aerodynamics of a truck, all of these different aspects require this precision in the technology which they're not able to find in AI. So this is something that quantum technology also.
choose one serious problem where quantum can make a
Hmm.
really big impact, and
Okay,
then figure out how to build a business around that. Let me give Nick a chance to weigh in on what you have described so far.
thank you.
Yeah, thanks. So yeah, I mean, this is very interesting. Yeah, I agree with the use case is, well, quantum computers orders of magnitude greater than, the traditional compute, but what's the use case? What can it do that we cannot do right now with with these technologies, right? It's for example, you mentioned the um the transport routes that the I was struggling with that, but just because what's the ROI, as we mentioned, and kind of what pain point were you actually solving? Whereas the drug discovery, yeah, for sure that's a huge pain point, right? We want drugs, we want better drugs, and quantum computing could, with its power, maybe um, at triple or maybe orders of magnitude even faster developing with versus just using AI, right? It's like maybe it's because it's faster or some way that the quantum, because using quantum computing, it would accelerate. So kind of what's the actual, use case and pain point that you're trying to solve? It's
So, Pranav, the other thing, what you're doing here is very interesting, looking at what other people are doing, right? The
Yeah.
Zapata. Zapata is a platform that is catering to people who are training AI models, right?
Yes. So actually, they started off as a quantum company. If you were following Zapata before, and Zapata, in fact, the founders of Zapata, they created the most popular optimization algorithm, the fundamental optimization algorithm in quantum technology. So it's very interesting that now they're pivoting into quantum assisted AI and into natural language processing as well.
Yeah.
So it's
So that means that they are seeing traction in that AI companies are looking for infrastructure to
definitely
train their models more, more effectively. That is, so then you go into the infrastructure layer,
okay. Okay.
right? So that's another way to build a company, is going into the infrastructure layer. And um, so you can, for those of you listening, you can operate in the infrastructure layer, you can operate in the, NVIDIA is a chip company, right? That's a different layer. So you can operate on the infrastructure layer and build a company as well, like Zapata is doing. What is Boson Q PSI doing?
So, Boson Q actually was an Indian company. It started off as a Indian company, and they claimed to be the world's first quantum powered engineering simulation software. So it's really quite interesting because that was very close to a model that I thought, which was about data-driven customer solutions model, where they're catering to simply one customer with a unique problem statement and a unique solution attached to it.
Mhm.
So that was something that. So
But what
the
you
way.
have here is useful for drug discovery, materials design, financial modeling. These are very diverse use cases.
Yes, and the thing is, we are you sh when we talk about quantum, we usually should not think about big grand scale of events that are completely going to change an industry. We should rather think about more fundamental points of how we interpret data and how we do inferencing of this data, because that is where quantum should be used. It's not the large scale
Just a second,
differences,
I
but
think what I'm trying to understand is what kind of a company do you want to build? Because when you opened, you're saying that you want to provide services for people who don't have access to quantum expertise,
yes.
right? But I don't think these examples that you're offering, Zapata and Boson Q, these are not services companies. It looks like they have infrastructure. They're infrastructure layer companies. Their expertise, obviously, maybe their services and infrastructure, but at
Okay.
least what you're presenting here is these are not services companies necessarily, not professional services companies.
Okay, thank you for that point. Maybe I probably worded my initial answer wrongly, like
Looking
rather.
at comparables is a very good way to learn.
Yes.
So these three examples that you have given, DeepChem is an open source Python library for machine learning and deep learning on molecular and quantum data sets. Okay, so who's using this? Who are the customers of it?
Yeah, in fact, we were inspired a lot by DeepChem's model. So DeepChem is not a quantum technology startup, or neither in the field of quantum technology. But the model that they built was that they have a community-driven open source model where the whole community contributes to the open source repository. On top of this open source repository, they have built a product, a no-code tool product for companies to use to be able to incorporate into their product manufacturing workflow. And this was, for me at least, was a very ideal way to get my bootstrap my startup without any funding from external sources.
So is something that you have discovered or something that you are within your sphere, is there something that you can put as an open source offering?
Yes, of course. And my team actually does this. Like we have an open source repository where we are contributing by um, first taking research papers that are currently coming out
Yeah.
without having like they do not have a code base, they do not have an algorithm. We make the algorithm and then we modify the algorithm and put it on our open source repository as well. So
But the question, open source is interesting when a lot of people start using
yes.
your code and building something with it, doing something with it. So is anybody using your code?
Yeah, currently no. So right now the goal is to build a community, discuss with people and research labs who are interested in using different approaches in the current research industry to their problem statement, and that is very important. Like that is especially why I am going around and going to these research labs and talking to them also, so that I gain the understanding of what problems they're currently facing and how we can provide some kind of use case for them to solve that problem. So
Pranav, we have spent quite a bit of time. I have to
yeah,
move to the next presentation. You would benefit tremendously from 1M because there are a lot of decisions that you need to make.
yes,
I will explain in a little bit how to use 1M, but I would recommend that you join and kind of there's too much that is fluid and vague in what you're doing right now that needs to be, tightened and positioned somehow. Like what kind of a business are you going to build? How are you going to build that business? There's a lot of learning on how to build a business that you have to go through.
yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so
You're
much.
very welcome. You obviously have lots of knowledge and lots of really differentiated expertise. So packaging that up into a business that can really take on the world, it would be my pleasure to help you.
Thank you.
Joseph Riano, you are up next. Could you please unmute your line and let's talk?
All righty, can you hear me?
Yes.
Great. Let me also crank up the video. So thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. I've been in the payment space for a long time. I started my career in banking, and the whole time it's always intriguing to me that 75 years ago, the first charge card was produced by what became Diners Club in New York. When a gentleman tried to pay his bill and he forgot his wallet at home. He had to get his wife to take a cab, go into Manhattan, and bring the wallet. Since then, we have been using plastic cards to pay. Today, we're dealing with a $7.4 trillion a year in-person payment industry. And we developed in the company that is the parent company of FacePay Club, 3iTech Works, which has been around for 12 years. We developed a membership subscription program that is deployed and earning us about $1 million a year. We decided to spin up the FacePay Club because it's a unique opportunity to take what we've already learned and what we've already, we developed an MVP using biometric information with face recognition. And we're using it now at locations, a few locations. And we rolled it out in December, pulled it back, rolled it out a second time, a little test in February. And we believe that we will have the final product in by May 15th. So I'm thinking of a launch June 1st. If you want to bring up the next slide. Our mission is to deliver savings to merchants. So our target audience here is merchants, lowering the cost of credit card payments and giving those merchants in-store loyalty, rewards, and subscription services to earn more from their customers. Our vision is to become the world's most recognized brand in terms of being able to use biometrics for payments. The way we see the world, you have the ability to use cash, which is dangerous. We can use plastic cards, which is the way most people are paying today, or you can use biometric payments, which we hope FacePay is the best method to go. So today we solve the problems.
But there are all kinds of other things. There's Apple Pay and
yes, yeah, but you're
all kinds of things.
Yeah, but all of that you're relying on a device external to you, Sramana.
Yeah.
You don't need that. What are you doing with a piece of plastic? What are you doing with an iPhone? What are you doing at the store? What if you don't have it? What if you have what happened to the Secretary of Homeland Security on Easter Sunday? Her purse was stolen, and even though the Secret Service was there, and this became a very public affair, if it wasn't because of her
You're saying that you
prominence,
should be able to do it with biometrics of the face. That's
Yep.
your proposition.
Correct.
Okay.
And I'm reducing the cost to the merchants of chargebacks. Does anyone in the does anyone understand what a chargeback is and how it's created?
Sure.
Okay. I just don't want to speak over someone. I spoke to a gentleman yesterday. He goes, I did not know what a chargeback was. But chargeback is essentially when a credit issuer approves a transaction. At that moment, that charge was good, but then the merchant receives a notice at the end of the month that that charge is being charged back because it was lost or stolen card. We eliminate chargebacks because you cannot deny the presence of the person. Whereas if you have a solution that has a piece of plastic or even a smartphone, you could actually be using someone else's information instead of yours. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So we also want to, I don't know how many people are familiar with FedNow. FedNow was developed by the Federal Reserve of the United States. You can look it up. You can Google it. It's now in, you can reduce the cost of transaction processing. You can do a settlement with between a bank and another bank for 4.5 cents for up to $1 million. We believe that we can disrupt the payment space, which right now charges merchants 2% and 3%.
So
But
you're
Mhm.
talking about FedNow, you're using the word we. Do you work for FedNow? I'm sorry, I'm a little bit confused.
No, sorry. So I'm using the word we, meaning the company, FacePay.
So what?
FacePay can use FedNow as a tool to be able to settle an account between you and a restaurant that you went to for 4.5 cents instead of paying. So you paid $100 to the restaurant using a credit card. If you
Yeah.
use FacePay and we connected your checking account to FacePay, I can do that transaction and charge that and give that merchant a huge break. Instead of charging them $3 plus 15 cents, I charge them 10 cents and I make plenty of profit.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Yeah.
It's very disruptive because it's a new service and it's incredibly powerful. You can trade money bank to bank 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year for only 4.5 cents with transactions up to $1 million. And this is public information. This is not something that is, you just go to the Federal Reserve, look for FedNow, and all these issues are there. The total addressable market of our FacePay is $7.4 trillion. There's $10 trillion in the total market. About 2.6 happens online. We don't want to touch online. We want to do transactions that are face to face.
So what, how do you get this to market? You said you're already doing $1 million a year of in
Perfect.
this?
Well, not in FacePay. Let me clarify it. The framework or the platform that we are building FacePay on top of is what we're making $1 million a year on. So what we do today is we collect your photo or Nicholas' photo or my photo. We store it. We display it when you come back to shop. Our merchants are using subscription services, membership clubs. So you essentially pay $10 a month, for example, and you get 10% off every single time you go shopping, right? Or you'll get a special deal on Mondays or Tuesdays or Fridays. It's up to the merchant. So we built a merchant loyalty club that you pay a privilege for, and we ensure.
That's not FacePay. That has
Correct.
nothing to do with FacePay.
Correct. I'm just giving you the backdrop between why FacePay.
So we don't have endless amount of time. What is the FacePay situation? Is that already in the market? You're trying to get it going?
Yeah, we rolled it out twice. We're going to be rolling it out May 15th on this final form in the Clover point of sale system. These are the current team members in FacePay. You can go to the next slide. And these are our financial projections. We're doing about $400 a month per merchant location today. We believe that we can get a download of the FacePay app in the Clover ecosystem for about $500. And we believe that we can get 1,000 Clover merchants by the end of the first year after we get our funding. Next.
I'm sorry, it's very confusing the way you're pitching this.
Sorry. Yeah. Okay.
I'm completely confused about the relationship between Clover and FacePay.
Okay.
The answer, nobody cares about Clover at the moment.
Right.
Because you seem to be wanting to build a business around FacePay. Nicholas, are you as confused as I am?
Yes. Sharmana, I apologize. I went through, there's a different deck that I sent yesterday to Maureen. I don't think that you have the final deck. I had a conversation with. Yeah.
At the moment,
yeah.
Forget Clover, because Clover is not relevant. You're trying to build FacePay as the company.
Correct.
So
Clover has a.
What is the go-to-market strategy? Hold on. What is the go-to-market strategy of FacePay?
Okay. So
you can't ask for money from people without explaining what is this business and how are you going to take this to market? So
we have the easiest way for me to go to market is to use my existing clients, which are already understanding and they're educated on the use of FacePay. FacePay is going to reduce and eliminate chargebacks for them. This is very important, very easy for them to understand. I'm sorry?
Who are your existing clients for what?
So we have restaurants and we have retailers that are using our Real Rewards program in the Clover marketplace. That's why Clover is important for us, because it takes 30 seconds to download an app in Clover. Our app is in Clover. They collect money every month. I get $30,000 every month from Clover. So
That's not the
Clover,
point. Try to understand what I'm asking.
yeah.
People using your loyalty program and that being the validation for them wanting to switch to your payment technology, that's a huge leap. What validation do you have that they are going to switch to your payment program?
So we have tested the market with 4 different merchants, and when the consumers use FacePay, they like it, they love it. So Clover gives us the ability to capture a person's photo, their personal identification in the Clover terminal, face-to-face terminal. There's a camera in the Clover device. We also have a standalone application that runs in any smartphone. So Clover is the initial one because they give us credibility. There's already 500,000 merchants in the Clover ecosystem. So we make money from Clover each month. And our clients are telling me, I have clients right now that are paying us money. They're saying, I want to try FacePay because I think it's going to reduce the amount of plastic that we consume. I think it's a great idea that we don't have to bring a piece of plastic or a phone to my store. That'll be different than all my competitors. That's what my merchants are telling me.
How many merchants are telling you this?
Well, I have about 130 merchants. I've only tested it with 3 or 4, Sharmana, because I'm not ready to go to market. We need capital to explain this. I've taken the time to explain it to 2 of my largest clients, and one of them is enthusiastic enough that says, in June, I want you to start rolling it out in one of our stores in Fort Lauderdale, and then we'll roll it out in the other 30 or 40 locations.
So you need to raise capital to even start this?
No, we're already starting without capital. We just need capital to grow it.
Okay.
If you want to go to the next slide, I think I can explain a little bit better. So this is what's key for us. We don't have right now the infrastructure that I feel comfortable expanding beyond the Clover infrastructure. We need an additional cybersecurity technology. We need definitely sales and marketing support, and we need more operational support. Is there another slide after this one, Marie?
No way you can raise $10 million based on your current stage. This is not viable. That's not how the industry works. There's just no way you can go straight and raise $10 million. It has to be done you have to figure out some way to validate this so that people understand what is this business and what is the go-to-market strategy and so on and so forth. It's just not something you can raise $10 million from off the bat like this.
Okay. All right. Okay. No, that's why we're here.
Yeah. I mean, I can help you create a strategy of how to put one foot before the other, but the way you have it right now, that's not going to move. I don't think you can.
I agree. I agree. We worked on a slide deck. This was the slide deck that I submitted to Maureen 3 days ago. Yesterday, I had our Nod, who is on the call right now as an advisor to the company, and we redid this deck to essentially highlight the differences in what you're pointing out right now, Sharmana. I apologize that I should have held back on sending you the deck until I had the discussion with our Nod.
Doesn't matter, you're still asking for $10 million without any validation. That's the bottom line. I don't know what's in your slide deck. Does that slide deck address this basic problem? If it doesn't, then it doesn't matter.
So do you believe? Let me ask a question. Do you believe that there's a problem with a growing problem with chargebacks for the merchants today?
No, I think your premise is an interesting premise, that you want to just do biometrics, physical biometrics, in this case, face recognition as the only biometric, and you don't need any device or any plastic, any other prop with which to do the payment.
Correct.
So, interesting premise. I haven't done the comparative analysis of what's, why that has not happened in the world. When it's not it's an interesting idea, but it's not someone must have thought about it before. Why not?
It will be a business in about 3 months, and yeah. So look, I would love your help in making our pitch better, and I would love your help in trying to introduce us to.
Explain how to use 1 million by 1 million. So just hang back and listen for a moment.
Sure. Okay.
Then you can ask more questions.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you for your feedback.
So, folks, we are a global virtual accelerator, and we do exactly this kind of work, is to helping you figuring out how to build your business. To be in the program, you go to 1Mby1M.com. All the resources are there. The premium program is where you can get interactive feedback like this, which both of you are going to need. You can do the curriculum. We have a very powerful curriculum. You can do that curriculum and learn a lot, but in both of your cases, you're going to need a lot of coaching to actually get further. So that comes through the premium program. The curriculum only version is available as 1M Basic. So some of you in the room, if you're just trying to learn how to put one foot before the other in a curriculum format and with case studies, this basic is 1M Basic is fine. You can start learning with just the curriculum. So anyway, we'll spend some time on the website, try to understand the premium program and the basic program. We do consulting. We get requests for consulting, but it's much more expensive. These free roundtables happen every week. You can pitch and dialogue with me only once for free. After that, if you want to continue to work with me, you need to be in the premium program. We have 4 more coming up in May, 4 more roundtables. So if you haven't pitched yet, please do come and talk to me, and let's get the process going. If you have questions about the program after the session today, you can ask Irina Patterson, irina@1mby1m.com. She's in the room and she's part of the 1M1M team. Okay, I can go back to taking more questions.
First of all, thanks so much for introducing us to 1M as well. I did have a few questions regarding my endeavors, and essentially I wanted to know, so I've worked with quantum computing industry, like I've worked with companies such as IonQ and IBM, and what's the most important point is that they sell their service at a rate which is like, if you want to do a very useful project, it's going to take around $500,000 to access the compute, use it, and then utilize it and get a good output. Now, this can be charged back to the company, or I can bootstrap myself with building a solution which I initially introduced you to, which was the open source, and on top of that, building a no-code tool. And using this no-code tool as a quantum software as a service platform for companies, and gaining revenue from that. Or I could go directly to venture capitalists, ask for capital, and head straight to my customer data-driven solution platform, where I go to companies like Mercedes, like some drug discovery companies, which I have not had the right to tell their name, and ask them to directly work with me, give me the data, and I build a custom solution for their problem and give them the result that they require. So what I really don't understand is which path to take.
Yeah, there is a lot that you don't understand at the moment. Because there is some things that you do understand which are technical.
Okay.
You have to understand business, you have to understand business models. So in open source, if you go the open source route, there's a commercial open source business model that you're going to need to understand, which is essentially a freemium business model. So if you do the 1M by 1M curriculum, we have open source as a module, and you will see
Right.
studies and you can learn from that. We also have a whole track within 1M that we call bootstrapping using services.
Okay.
So if you want to provide services and charge people for providing them services and use that to bootstrap the rest of your business, that's fine too. That is a strategy. You can do that. You cannot really go walk into venture capitalists and raise money right now because you don't.
Yeah.
This pitch is not going to help you raise.
Definitely not. Yeah.
Yeah. So that you have to work on it. So anyway, I think there's a lot that you need to learn, and there's actually you need a lot of coaching. So
Okay. Yeah.
I suggest you join 1M and we can work on it. Step by step, each of those. I'm going to ask you to go do curriculum material, then we can, take those and build on top of that. But you do have a lot of learning that you need to do.
No, thank you so much, Shravana. Thanks for the answer as well. And thanks for your time. Yeah.
You're welcome. Any other questions, anybody? Including the ones who are in the room. If you want to talk, if you want to ask questions, Maureen can if you let us know, Maureen can put you on the audio and you can talk through the computer. Anybody?
Yeah, Shramana, it's Joe again. Sorry. So Irina Patterson is the person that I should contact to see the type of training or the type of support that we can expect from the 1M.
What are you trying to understand? You should spend time on the website first and foremost.
Yeah. Okay.
And if you have questions beyond that, you can ask Irina Patterson. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
The website is very comprehensive. So if you don't come to Irina without checking the website first, the website is extremely comprehensive. Anybody else? All right, folks, I guess we are adjourning. We will see you next week. Nicholas, thank you for staying and participating through the program. I hope you found it interesting as well. I learned a lot today.
Yeah, it was awesome. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks a lot,
Thank
everyone.
you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Bye.